How often have you found yourself putting up with conduct that you knew on some level was absolutely unreasonable and unacceptable? Either you chose to remain quiet in order to prevent confrontation, or you chose to brush it aside in order to maintain peace. But here's the truth. Whatever you put up with, you will gradually come to accept as the standard. And what you consider to be the norm determines the quality of your existence. Due to the fact that learning to draw the line is not only about respect, but also about safeguarding your mental and emotional well-being, we are going to unveil 6 behaviors that are not acceptable and that you should never tolerate in this video. 1. A lack of regard and a dismissive attitude. Each and every good connection, whether it be professional or personal, is built on the basis of respect. When someone constantly interrupts, belittles, or ignores you, they are not just rude, they are also dismissing you. Allowing those behaviors to continue tells other people that it is okay to put you down. You need to establish a clear boundary, which is to insist that you be treated with respect. Always keep in mind that the Stoics felt that the key to living a positive life was to respect oneself. If you allow rudeness to go unpunished, you are lowering your sense of self-worth. For example, picture a workplace in which your suggestions are often disregarded during meetings. You begin to keep silent because you believe that it will be simpler. But you quickly come to the realization that your silence simply allows people the ability to continue to insult you. The dynamics change the instant you make your voice heard by assertively asking that space be made available for it. There is no need to ask for respect. It must be demanded. 2. Exploitation and the use of gaslighting. The manipulation of others, particularly via the use of gaslighting, is one of the most harmful actions that you should never accept. It is when someone manipulates the truth to get you to question your memory, perspective, or sanity that this comes about. It is a covert type of control that slowly erodes one's sense of freedom and confidence. When you become aware of behaviors such as persistently denying the existence of facts, shifting responsibility, or making you feel guilty for their errors, you should immediately draw the line. Because allowing oneself to be manipulated can gradually erode your faith in yourself, it is important to recognize manipulation for what it is. Take, for instance, a spouse who, whenever you bring up legitimate worries, responds, "You're imagining things again," and the passage of time causes you to begin to doubt your own reality. That is an example of gaslighting. Calling it what it is and refusing to allow someone else to rewrite your reality is the only way out of this catch-22 situation. 3. Persistent feelings of negativity and draining of energy. Your vitality is depleted merely by being in the same room as some individuals. In every circumstance, they are continuously complaining, concentrating on the issues rather than the solutions, and bringing a bad atmosphere to the setting. Your thinking and mental health will be affected over time as a result of this conduct. The Stoic philosophy tells us that we are the company that we keep. If you surround yourself with those who are consistently negative, you will take on that negativity. Pessimism and energy vampires should not be tolerated on a regular basis. Limiting your interaction with others and surrounding yourself with positive individuals are both effective ways to safeguard your emotional space. An example of an energy vampire would be a buddy who is always complaining about anything, whether it be their job, their relationships, or even the weather. At first, you listen and make an effort to assist. However, after a few months have passed, you come to the realization that you experience a heavy feeling whenever you are in their presence. What is the takeaway? Distancing oneself from things that are negative is an act of self-preservation since negativity is infectious. 4. Ignorance of any and all boundaries. It is impossible to negotiate boundaries. They define what you are and aren't okay with. It doesn't matter whether it's a buddy coming up without your invitation, a partner neglecting your need for personal space, or a co-worker violating your work hours. When individuals reject your boundaries, they are insulting you. Allowing such behavior encourages individuals to persist in pushing their boundaries. When limits are respected, healthy relationships flourish. Thus, you should never condone repeated breaches of boundaries. Maintain your composure and make it unmistakable what your limitations are, even if doing so causes you discomfort. Take, for instance, the situation in which you have instructed a coworker not to send you messages after work hours, but they continue to do so. 5. Dishonesty and broken trust. Trust is a fragile concept. Once it has been broken, it is extremely difficult to rebuild. Whether it's a small lie or a major betrayal, when someone lies to you, they are demonstrating a lack of integrity about themselves. Dishonesty destroys relationships and causes you to question everything you were previously certain of. If you allow people to lie to you, you will help perpetuate a cycle in which lying becomes the norm. It should be made abundantly clear that honesty is non-negotiable. Although it may be difficult, those who value you will respect the truth. When it comes to maintaining peace, you should avoid making concessions by accepting dishonesty. This is because peace that is built on lies will eventually fall apart. As an illustration, a friend tells a lie about where they were, and you choose to ignore it. However, it continues to occur over and over again. There is a sudden shift in your trust in their statements. The friendship is not unstable because of a single lie. Rather, it is unstable because of repeated instances of dishonesty. Trust once cracked is like shattered glass. It may be pieced together, but the cracks will always show. 6. Lack of accountability. One of the most frustrating behaviors is when people refuse to take responsibility for their actions. They blame others, make excuses, and never admit when they're wrong. This creates an unhealthy dynamic where you're left carrying the emotional or practical burden for their mistakes. Tolerating a lack of accountability drains your energy and fosters resentment. Expect responsibility. Healthy individuals own up to their behavior, learn from mistakes, and grow. If someone consistently shifts the blame, it's a warning sign that they don't respect you or the relationship. Example: think about someone who misses deadlines at work but always blames the team. Not only do they avoid responsibility, but others have to pick up the slack. Over time, this damages trust and weakens the entire group. Holding people accountable is not about punishment, it's about fairness and growth. Don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe for more.